What's up guys, how we doing? Welcome back to another video. Today's video, as the title suggests, is going to focus on my secret weapon that I have used this time and in times past to help me beat cravings for alcohol, especially during those first few days after taking it out and during those first few weeks. And as of right now, I'm actually on day 20 of sobriety from alcohol. It's a Saturday. And I say sobriety from alcohol because that is all I'm sober from. I'm not sober from all drugs and alcohol. I am sober from alcohol. And there is one particular drug that I have utilized this time and in the past, like I just said, to really pretty much stamp out all want for alcohol. And that's pretty powerful, right? If you could put that into a pill and swallow it every single morning and not be tempted to drink alcohol, even as an alcoholic, wouldn't that be something? Yeah, it would. I'll answer that one for you. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. And this particular drug, well, certain states in America, certain countries around the world have realized that. They've realized that, you know what, there are benefits, but there's certain states and certain countries that haven't legalized this drug for certain reasons, and I can also get behind those too. There are negatives when it comes to the drug in which we are referring to right now, which is marijuana. Green, nug, buds. I probably called it buds for the most part throughout my smoking career, and my smoking career is not completely over yet. I've got a couple more buds to smoke, which will then get me through a couple more days of sobriety from alcohol. But then the world's going to really hit me smack bang square in the face. And that is because I am planning to take out marijuana at around about the 3-week mark. So 3 weeks sober from alcohol. I've used marijuana on a daily basis to help with that. But now it's time to take that out too, because I want a completely clean and sober life. And like I just made mention to, there are negatives to smoking weed. The positives for me at the moment, and the way that I've used smoking marijuana as a secret weapon to help me on my sobriety journey from alcohol, is basically at 2 points throughout the day, consistently. And that gives me something to look forward to. It gives me certain points throughout my day that I can sort of focus on and just get to. And once I get to that point, I know that the next 2 or 3 hours are taken care of. And then when I get to that point, get through those 3 hours, I can sort of have another smoke and then know that the next 2 to 3 hours are taken care of because I'm on a high. You know, I'm occupied. I'm content. And that's what it does. That's what weed's always done for me. It's created a sense of contentment in a brain that has a tendency to go haywire, and also a personality that has a tendency to be manic depressive. And what weed does for me is it sort of mellows me out somewhat. It certainly makes me content. And what it does, both physically and mentally, it absolutely immediately removes my craving for alcohol, because it does something to my brain. It alters my mood. It's a mood altering substance, which is exactly what alcohol is. And I think, me personally, being an addict at heart, coming to terms with what that means as far as my personality, as far as what I you know, how I structure my day and how I live my life. I am an addict, which means that I am always constantly searching for something that's going to change the way that I feel, change my mood, alter my state of mind. That's what I'm constantly looking for. And a life without that, without something that on a daily basis can help me do that, is a life that I've just simply not been able to live for any length of time. In fact, leading up to my attempt at sobriety from both alcohol and weed last year in October, I hadn't had a period of time since the age of 15 where I went any longer than 3 or 4 days without either of those. And for the most part, it was no longer than a day. Now, leading up from age 15, 16 up to 29, I hardly drunk because I smoked weed, and it helped with all of those factors that I just made mention to. And it certainly didn't allow alcohol to come into my life and take hold. Now, in February of 2021, I told myself, right, it's at this point, you've just turned 30, you've got to quit weed. Do whatever it takes to quit weed. Little did I know, I'd bring in alcohol pretty much immediately, and alcohol would take hold, and that would be my substance of choice for the next 4 years. And that's where we find ourselves today. Now, I do say that alcohol only became a problem at age 30, but that's not true. Looking back now, having all of this time to think back, alcohol was causing issues earlier in my life. It's just I didn't want to focus on them, and I didn't drink back to back. I never backed up. Yes, I'd have a big night once a weekend, but I'd pick my act back up. I'd pull my socks up on the Sunday, and then crack back into life on the Monday. And there were Mondays where I'd have to go to school on that Monday, and then from the age of 17, 18 onwards, it was going to work on that Monday. But at the end of the day, alcohol was causing problems. I was unable to control the amount that I drank, but I only drank either once a week, once a month, or even less as the time went on and as my smoking career developed. So I believe that not only right now, but throughout my entire life, I've used marijuana to reduce or completely stop my desire to use alcohol. And that's interesting to think about. But the way that I'm using it right now is twice per day. I wake up in the morning about 7:30, quite groggy, unfortunately, from the night before. And for anyone out there who's going to try and convince me that smoking weed on a daily basis does not cause any cognitive disability, which is exactly what it is. It's brain damage. It's slowing you down, and it takes me at least 48 hours off of weed for me to actually feel as if my eyes are completely open, and number two, I can think straight. So at the moment, I'm not drinking any alcohol, but my brain is still unable to think straight for any length of time. And fortunately, my job, and pretty much every single job that I've had throughout my entire life, has been simple enough for me to get through without really having to use my brain too much. And to think back, that's interesting. And I think one of the main reasons why is because I've wanted to continue using drugs every single night, drag myself out of bed every single morning, pry my eyes open, because the more weed you smoke, the closer to going to bed. Well, the worse it's going to be the morning after. But either way, at the moment, sorry guys, I am rambling. At the moment, the way that I use it, I wake up, get to work at 8, finish at 4, and at about 4:15, I'll come home here, get my gym gear, get ready to go. I've got about a 5-minute motorbike ride from here to the gym. I have a smoke. I head to the gym, and from about 4:20, consistently recently, till about 6:20, I am focused on that workout, and I'm not going to leave until I've put my 110% in. Now, weed for me has always been a motivator. Whether the actual mood that it gets me in after smoking motivates me, I'm not quite sure, because at that point, by the time the effects have taken hold, I'm actually already doing the task that I've been procrastinating about. So I don't know whether it's the ritual of having the smoke, putting it down, and then just, blinkers on right into the task at hand, and the task we're referring to at the moment being the gym, or whether it's, I don't know what it is, but I do know that, halfway through my gym workout, I am feeling on top of the world. I've been in the gym for an hour already, and I'm still buzzing. You know what I mean? I'm still enjoying it. Weed certainly helps with mind-muscle connection, I believe. Does it help with cardiovascular performance? No, it doesn't. I believe it instantly raises your heart rate, which then can make you sort of gas out on cardio-based activities. But as far as lifting weights, it's always been part of my pre-workout routine. I've always enjoyed it. But at this point, where I am in my life, I'm almost 34 years of age. The time has come for me to let it go, once and for all. I let it go for over 90 days earlier this year. I decided to bring it back in. It was a mistake, but it is what it is. Each and every time we make a mistake, it's a learning experience. It's an opportunity to learn and grow and Jesus, I didn't realize this video would take this long. But it's a topic I've had a lot of experience with, man, and it's a topic that I have a lot to share about, but not just yet, because I'm still smoking on a daily basis. But either way, first smoke prior to the gym, second smoke after the gym at around about 7:30 or 8 o'clock at night, come home, get my dinner ready, have a smoke, sit down, watch some TV, watch some YouTube, enjoy my dinner. Try not to eat too much, because that's another factor. I'm going to be attempting to get in shape over the next 6 weeks. For the last time, I'm never going to get in shape again, because every single time I do, I feel so good, and then self-sabotage comes in, and I end up letting it go. And then every single time I get out of shape, it's that much harder to get back in shape. So this time, I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to remove weed, because at the end of the day, I can't get in shape if I'm smoking weed every day. Yes, going to the gym is all good. Yes, exercising is all good. In fact, it's extremely fun, extremely enjoyable. But saying no to sugary, fatty, salty foods whilst high is also pretty much impossible for me. It's pretty much impossible. Whereas if I take out the weed, I'm all for salads and lean meats and rice and vegetables and fruits and all of the healthy stuff. I'm all for it, because at the end of the day, I'm not actually that hungry. But give me a smoke and I could eat a fucking horse. So twice during the day I use weed, once after work prior to the gym, which doesn't even give me the time to sit down at home and dwell sober and think, oh, a drink would be nice. It doesn't even give me the time to that. So it's a secret weapon. It's a secret weapon. Whenever I need an instant burst of focus and motivation, I have a smoke. And that's why I do it before the gym. I get to the gym, 2 hours later I get home, make my dinner, have another smoke. I may have another quick puff before my shower, immediately before bed. But I don't really need it. And so at the end of the day, I say it's under control. Is it under control? Well, I've smoked a hell of a lot more in the past. In fact, I remember times where I would be going to rugby training and I'd have 4 bongs before training. And I'd turn up at training just absolutely fucking buzzing, very paranoid, but get me in a familiar environment, get me running around, get my heart rate up, get a sweat up, and I'm sweet. And it's a really, really enjoyable buzz. But initially, arriving to training, saying hi to everyone, absolutely fucking steaming high, was a nervous experience, but in a funny way, that nervousness was excitement as well. So it's an exciting feeling. And You know, I'll be honest, having a bong and then going to the gym, I smoke joints now, having a joint and then going to the gym, it gives me that same excited feeling. And at age 33, almost 34, to have that feeling, even if you are only having it whilst high on weed, it's cool, you know, because I think a lot of people's lives do get mundane, do get a bit boring, and for me at the moment, if I didn't have that just little burst of excitement and energy prior to going to the gym, my life would be pretty mundane and boring as well. So if anything, it's helped with motivation, it's helped with staying on track, it's helped with reducing cravings, pretty much removing them completely. And it is a scary place for me to be launching into life without that, because I am in such a good routine, to be honest, at the moment. And I don't really need to remove it, but I want to, because I want to live a life. I want to be able to say I'm 100% clean and sober from drugs and alcohol. I don't want anything to be altering my mindset, because I need to get in touch with exactly who I am, and I need that to be okay. I need that to be okay with me inside. And it's a scary place to be, because am I going to be able to continue this routine? Work, gym, dinner, TV, bed, without smoking weed? That is the question. This video is not about that. More videos will come in the future, of course, to document my experience. That's what this channel's about. But I did want to make this video prior to quitting, because I know that once I do quit, there's no way I'm going to want to make videos on the topic. And the only way that I'm making this video now with a smile on my face, oh geez, we've got a storm outside. The only way I'm able to do that is because I know that straight after this video, if I want to, and I will, I have a smoke to have, to get me on that level once again, and make the rest of the day exciting, make mundane, boring food exciting, and get me through just another day. Get me through day 20 of sobriety from alcohol. Day 20, baby. We're here. So let me just wrap this all up, if you guys still are here. Basically, smoked weed every single day, pretty much from age 16 to 16 to 30. Then I told myself, right, you've done enough, 14 years straight, take it out, do whatever you have to do, but take it out. I took it out and I brought alcohol back in. Now, that lasted about 3 months of straight alcohol, no weed. And then I brought weed back in. I bought a bag. It lasted me 2 weeks. And amazingly, I went from drinking alcohol every single day, completely addicted, for the first time in my life, 3 months deep, feeling like shit. I got a bag of weed. And immediately, I cut out the drinking. So even back then, I realized, man, it's a seesaw. You're either one way or the other. One way or the other. And for the last 20 days, and sorry, so the story goes, I have pretty much gone back and forth. Alcohol's always been a constant. Weed has been off and on, somewhat due to the fact that I can't find it, but mostly due to the fact that I know I'm better without it. I know that I make healthier choices without it. I know I get better rest without it. I know I have a better personality without it. I know that everything improves if I remove it. But only if I can remove alcohol as well. That's the key.